everyone. Welcome back to a podcast. Today is just it's another one of these horror talking videos. Today I have you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Julie Seidel.
And for those who do not know, Julie has also just been cast in Woods, which will be coming out hopefully next year. Yeah. Ironically, as Julie.
Yes, my character is also Julie.
Yeah, it wasn't even like joking aside, like me and my producer, we watched everyone's audition tapes, and I don't know, she was just like, she's auditioning for Julie. Her name's Julie. You should just give it to her. I'm like, what? It's like, well, she got the emotion down, like of what I'm looking at and what you're probably looking for. I'm like, I agree. So it just
Well,
worked
thank
out
you.
that yeah, it worked out that way. It's just awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited to join the cast.
Yes, it's gonna be. It is a big cast too. I'm like, whoa, like how
Mhm.
many? Like, because I'm like, oh no, I haven't worked with this many characters, and when I'm working with this many characters, you gotta remember where they're at in the scripts. So I'm like going through the drafts. Like I had a character in part two. I'm adding.
Mhm.
I know it's not what we're talking about, but I want to tell you this funny story. I had a character in part two, and then when I started the draft of part three, the character's not in it. And I'm like, oh crap, where'd they go?
Oh no.
So I had to go. That's why I'm like drafts and stuff. But anyways, today we're talking about horror films, horror media, horror stories. So I guess my first question to you would be, how did you even get like interested in like horror? Like, was it just something you were exposed to at a young age, or just like I'm just gonna watch it or try or look at it?
I just kind of started watching it from a young age. I think one of the first horror movies I saw, or the first one I remember watching, I think was Halloween 4. And I got really into that series and then just horror in general.
Yeah. Oh, Halloween's my favorite. That's my favorite horror film. It's never gonna change. That's always been.
Mhm.
It's actually why I'm doing what I do is films. Is I was like, okay, I want to do that, and it's really
Nice.
really funny because I would talk to people about horror movies, but it was really weird. Watching Halloween, I wasn't really scared, but then I watched like I can't remember if it was something that was for kids and it scared me more than that. Like,
Uh,
so now I'm like, okay, well, horror, I'm just gonna stick with. But it's also the easiest genre to write for or make anything in. It's like one of the
yes.
easiest things to do. There's so much you can do with it. Um, what I hate is found footage. I'm just so annoyed by it at this point.
Mhm.
Even though I should love the Blair Witch, I don't love it as much as everybody else.
Oh, yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah. So uh, let's see. I'm trying to think of another. So like, yeah, it's just one of my favorite things about horror is also just like they're some of them are just so cheesy that even though they're bad,
Mhm.
they're just so fun to watch. Like I watch anything on like Tubi that sounds like hilarious. Like I think
Uh-huh.
I watched a movie once. It was uh Camp Camp Terror, Cabin Terror, something number 7, and then coming to find out there's no other films in the franchise that has started with a 7 as their first one, and I was like, that's funny.
That's great.
Yeah, I do want to see that new one coming out called Good Boy. I think that looks pretty good.
Oh, is that the one with the dog?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do want to see that, but I feel like movies with animals is it's always so sad. So I don't know if it's gonna be like that.
I don't think they're gonna kill the dog off. But
Okay.
it was a funny. They actually poked fun at the fact that that was like the trending Google search after the trailer dropped.
Uh-huh.
Like people would just like were googling does the dog die in Good Boy or, and then
Oh.
the trailer got so many views that they decided to give it a wide release.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it went from an indie film to now getting a full blown wide release.
Nice. So maybe people searching that kind of helped promote it in a way.
Yeah, it looks really. I'm not gonna lie, horror recently hasn't been always the greatest.
Mhm.
Like I saw last good horror film I saw in the theater, I really really liked. I really liked Terrifier. The what was it? Terrifier 3. I thought that was really good.
Mhm.
Have you watched any of those?
I saw the first one. I still need to watch the other two.
Oh, they're so fun to watch. Well, they're gory. I don't know how you do off gore, so
Yeah, I'm okay with gory movies.
okay. Yeah, because I'm not. I like the first couple Saws, but then after that, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, I got a little too much.
But they definitely pushed the envelope. I really love Trick or
Yeah.
Treat.
Oh, yeah, that one's good. I just saw that was coming out again in theaters, like or maybe only some theaters, but yeah, they're re-releasing it. But yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, oh, if it comes back out to theaters, I'm definitely gonna go see it because I really did like that. I haven't seen it in the theater, but I will this year probably.
Yeah, that one's really fun.
Yeah. I try to go see other things in the theater. I'm not just horror, but most of the time it's just usually horror. Like when that comes out, like I'm
Yeah.
going to the movies. It's just like it's also the easiest genre to really get into. There's not a lot of follow. You don't have to follow a major story unless it's like a franchise.
Right.
So that's always fun. I think Black Phone 2 looks pretty cool.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I was thinking I don't go to the theater very often, but when I do, it's almost always for horror movies. I don't know why that is, but
Yeah. Yeah, preferably now I don't try to go see every horror film that comes out cuz they all don't look that good. I did
Mhm.
just see The Strangers Chapter 2 the other day. I did not like it.
Yeah, I love the original Strangers. That's one of my favorite horror movies, but I haven't seen the new ones yet.
So, Chapter 1 I thought was entertaining. Chapter 2 is like eh. And then like
Mhm.
now they're going to do that. Now Chapter 3 will come out I think next year, and they show a little teaser um um a teaser at the end for Chapter 3, and it looks better than the first two installments, but that's the problem with trailers. Um,
Right.
they always make it look good, and then you watch it, it's not all that great.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, so it does kind of suck when that happens.
Mhm.
Have you ever been disappointed by a horror film?
Oh, hello?
Hello?
Oh, sorry, you were breaking up for a second
Oh,
there.
has there ever been a horror film that you were ever like disappointed by, like completely? Like you were thought this was gonna be really, really good, and it's like, eh.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely happened. I'm trying to think of an example though. Um, have there been any like that for you?
Yeah, I was very disappointed in Spiral when that came out. The last Saw, not the last Saw film, but the one before 10, with Chris Rock in it. I thought it was gonna be really, really good because they brought back one of the directors from Saw. I think it's directed Saw 2 and 3, and while it wasn't a terrible film, it was just kind of like, oh, this could have been a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's probably happened, but I can't think of a specific one right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's really crazy how much horror media is out there. There's like a new horror
Yeah.
film or a new horror short film. Have you done any horror projects?
I have, yeah. I've done I tend to mostly book horror projects, which is great. I mean, I like it. Let's see. I'm trying to think of ones that are out already. I did a horror short Roll for Terror is on YouTube. Um, I also did another short recently called Twitchers that's also out on YouTube.
Is
And
that the
then
one where your character had like some kind of illness or something?
yes,
That was good. I did like that.
thank you. Thanks for watching.
It was more of like a
And
science fiction in a way as well.
yeah, and kind of drama a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah, horror is always fun.
It's so fun to be in and to watch it.
Yeah. The last horror project I did, I really like going back and looking at it, but I'm like, at the end of
Mhm.
the day, I'm like, this is just horror. I want to do something different. So that's why when I was like, I'm going back to Woods, I'm redoing Woods. I actually erased the old series. I'm like, I am not having this out if I'm rebooting it because nobody's gonna understand it. So Let me
Mhm.
scrap it and start it over and go with the original plan because COVID killed it to begin with, which sucked. I had
Um,
it completely cast. It was less characters than it is now, but at the time it was completely cast. And then by the time the restrictions were letting up, I no longer wanted to do it. So
right.
I said I'm not doing it, and now I'm doing it because I figured I eventually want to tell the story I came up with in some capacity, so I'm just
Mhm.
gonna do it.
Good. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're doing it again. And so you said it's kind of a drama as well.
Yeah, it's more of a horror drama in a way. It's
Mhm.
really funny how I say horror, like as in like that's the first genre. No, it's more of like a drama horror. There's horror, but there's a lot of drama between the characters, which I wanted to begin with. I didn't want just a gore fest or like I didn't want that. So I was like, no, let me do something completely different. So I actually changed a
Oh,
lot of it. It was supposed to have more, there is death in it, but they're supposed to have more than it is. And I'm like, no, can't do it. Don't want to do it.
yeah.
Want to make a. And then, like, when I'm writing it, I'm like, yeah, this is also like a very. This has also got a hint of romance. And now it's like, oh crap, this is going to be my first romance stories.
Nice. Okay. So there'd be, yeah, a lot of different genres mixed in.
Yeah, it's real. It's like and how I promoted it to people was it's like Are You Afraid of the Dark meets Twilight Zone, but also meets
Mhm.
horror because it is a little bit more of a horror. It does have a horror element, but
Mhm.
originally it was going to be different stories each part with the same actors, but I'm like now I wrote part one and the way it ends, I'm like no, I got to keep the story going until I change it,
Mhm.
but I'm going to keep that story rolling.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I have enough for 6 parts, and the funniest thing about it is part one is the longest out of all of them.
Oh, okay.
Out of the way I have it, I'm like, wait, there's more scenes in this than there's more scenes in part one than here. But it's also because part
Mhm.
one, as you read, it's a lot. It's a long one. It's not super long, but it's a long enough to be its own short film if it didn't have a cliffhanger.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of. It's gonna be a lot. I'm hoping it'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward
Mhm.
to working with everybody on it.
Yeah, me too. I think it will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, cause I'm like when I was like I woke up that Sunday I posted it on all them film boards. I said I was thinking about doing it for about a week before I did it, and I was like, you know what? Let me see if I get any like react. Let me see if I get any response, and
Mhm.
everyone pretty much jumped on it pretty quick. I was like, oh wow, that was really fast. Like I did not expect that.
Mhm. That's awesome. Yeah.
And we had some and a lot of auditions to watch. That was the most I've ever watched for anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is the most I've ever watched. Like I think me and my producer Caitlin, I think we took we were getting them throughout the week, so we watched them throughout the week. But we set our deadline for Friday for that Thursday, and we spent at least 2.5 to 3 hours just watching. But
Wow.
it wasn't all 3 hours, but we were taking notes, and then we'd go
Mhm.
back and watch our favorite ones. And yeah, after that, we both agreed we're hoping we can just
Mhm.
we can keep everybody for the next projects. Like, if we do this
Yeah.
again, we're not having a lot of auditions. We're hoping we can just keep a lot of people. Like, hey, you want to come back and do another thing? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, because this is crazy because it's also like one of them. I don't know. I don't really want to spoil it too much because we're recording this, but it's a really big story, and I'm really excited to do it because I'm like I've been trying to think about it, but I'm like, oh, let me not do it, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. It might take
Yeah.
me a long time, but it'll be a lot of fun because I also haven't done like anything this huge in a long time, especially not with this many people attached to it. Which, yeah, I did look at the cast list, and when we finished it, I'm like, oh no, this is a lot of people.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I got annoyed one day, and I said, you know what? I'm posting the rest of the cast this day. I'm like I'm like I'm not gonna take one day. I'm not gonna do one a day because I'd probably still be announcing them if I did that. I'm like, let me
Yeah.
just put out the final cast list now, and I'll say who the characters are and what part they're going to be introduced in. That way, there's no confusion there either, and that actually helped me out because I'm like, oh yeah, that person's going to be in this one. Because I will say something really funny. I started writing a character for part four, and they're not even in part four. So I don't know. It's just been fun. But what has been your favorite horror project you've done?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Twitchers was really cool because I had more of a lead role in that and got to I feel like show more of a range of emotions. I also did one called Video Hearts, which is also on YouTube, which was really fun because we were playing characters in 80s dating videos. And I got to film it from home and I got to improv. So that was really cool.
Yeah. Do you like filming from home or actually filming in person? Like, what have you found the most easiest, or does it just depend on the project?
Yeah, it just depends. I like both. It's nice to be able to film from home, especially because I don't really live super close to most of the places where I film, but it's also great, like, just being on set and meeting everyone as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that was my biggest, like, because that was the other thing. I had people, like, there was two people that reached out to me about being in Woods, and they were like, I'm from this area, but I'm willing to travel. I'm like, oh, that would be on you. I can't do that. But it was
Yeah.
like, no, like, someone's like, I'm from Texas. I'm like, oh, well,
Oh,
well, I'm glad you're interested. Like, yeah, I used to live in DC, and I'm still part of this film board. Because I'll eventually find something, and this intrigues me. I'm like, yeah, I can't pay for plane tickets.
yeah.
That's
That's a
out of
lot.
the question. I'm sorry. And they're like, no, 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 I would have covered that. I'm like, no, you probably wouldn't. And you'd ask me back. They probably could. I don't know if they would. I don't know. It was like, I go. I don't. They didn't audition. They were interested in auditioning, and I gave them the scenes to read for the characters that they wanted to
Uh-huh.
audition for, but they never sent me them in, and I gave
Um,
them the right deadline, and they just never sent them in. So I'm like, well, that's okay. And I know
yeah.
one of the actors, Scott. We've all sat down. Did you were you on that call?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've just week been blank. It's just been blank all week. I'm just like,
That's okay.
so when because he messaged me, because I sent him the script for part one. He read it. And he actually brought up, hey, Kay, the scene I read for isn't actually in the script, and I didn't say this on the call, I don't think, but I was taking little pieces of the original drafts to give the characters to read, but it's also so no one took the script and ran and made it themselves.
Right.
And I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't
that's a
think
good.
nobody would do that. There's not, I mean, even though I'm not
Hopefully not.
secretive, I wouldn't have cared if someone took it and made it because they could have done it better, which I'll be like, whatever. But don't do that. No, that's not. I probably wouldn't have cared because if somebody else wanted to, like, hey, go ahead, you know what? But I'm like, hey, if you save me the work, no, I don't want them to do that. Um, yeah, it's just been really fun working on different projects. This one's a little bit different for me. A lot different. I haven't written anything with like this much like not necessarily character depth, but there's like
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just been interesting, but I am going completely
Yeah.
off topic, and I am so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, horror has always been one of the major genres I've always wanted to work in, and
Uh-huh.
I've been thinking about doing like this is probably the last horror project I do, but I
Oh,
also
yeah.
don't know because I also have an idea for something else that's more of a comedy, and I kind of want
Okay.
to do that, but it's not like nothing's really set in stone yet because gotta finish this one first because I don't want to keep going like, oh, I'll work on this project now. Oh, I gotta finish this other one. It's
Yeah.
hard procrastination, and I gotta stick with one thing now because if I do multiple things, I'll forget what I'm doing with this one or that one.
Right. Yeah, just focus on one at a time.
Yeah. Would it? So doing. So I guess I'll ask. What got you into acting?
Yeah, so I just got into it pretty recently within the past 4 years. I I was kind of always interested in it, but didn't really pursue it. And then I did background work for a little bit. And then I was following one of the casting agencies that would post background roles, and they posted a casting call for speaking roles. And then I just decided to go for it. And then ever since then, I've just been really into it and just applying for anything I can.
Yeah, definitely probably a good idea too. Yeah, I usually look to see if anybody has like if there's any editing work or like when I'll look at the book. I'll be looking at the like because they always post a lot of things on those filmmaking blogs on those Facebook groups. I'll just look and be like, oh, is anyone actually looking for um like is anyone actually looking for an editor? Nope, not usually. They usually have that covered, but I usually look because you never know.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly. Hmm.
that's what my background more is in now because I do a lot of live band stuff. So like a lot of that's like highlight
Nice.
reels or live video sets. So that's where my main filming has been at. Other than that, I did a trilogy of films that I was really really thankful to do, and they were
Hmm.
just a trilogy of shorts. And then after that, I was like, because I was like, I really need to do something that's not live music too.
Hmm.
Like I need to put like multiple eggs in different baskets. But now I'm going to go back to just doing film, and we'll see how that goes with this project. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, where'd you get the idea for this one or
For
the
Woods,
inspiration for it? Yeah.
so that's a good question. So when I was writing the original drafts in 2019, I was actually talking to what was her name? Now I'm blanking on her name. But I was talking to an actress who was cast in the lead role originally, and she was like, because I told her what it was gonna be. I actually met her at a mixer. It was like, it was at a bar in Towson. There was like a
Okay.
little film mixer, and I met her there, and we were talking because no one had actually seen any of the things I had done. I had just gone for as I was led to believe it was a social, like just come talk to local people, and it was mostly locals. There was one guy from New York who was from here, and he was working on a zombie film. I don't know if that ever got finished, but or I don't know. I've lost a lot of those connections because again, after COVID hit, nobody was really working on anything, or at least not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
But me and this what was her name? I'm gonna watch as soon as we're done recording this. I'm gonna remember her name, and then I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you later. It'd be hilarious. But we were chatting over when Skype was still a thing, because I remember Skype, and we were chatting, and I started writing out this story about a police officer who was sent flash drives. So it would have been kind of like found footage in a way,
Uh-huh.
and every flash drive
Okay.
had like a new video of it, and it was really crazy because I wrote this pre-pandemic and thinking about it, I'm like, crap. Now it makes a lot. Now that if I was making that now, like that would have made a lot of sense because now we're because everyone was shooting from
Right.
home, and uh, I ended up using that idea a little bit in the original series, but it didn't. I didn't really like the way it turned out, so I stopped making it, and then but I was, and then the detective or yeah, detective would eventually find the perpetrator, the person who was doing all these videos of these people, who you didn't know
Mhm.
were dead, who were being killed or not. And the original, and I'll spoil this because it's not going to be in the new version, but eventually she finds out that it was actually her doing it all.
Oh, okay.
Like, cause it goes, cause when she gets the address, she finds out it was actually her childhood home. Cause she had lost all, she was trying to like blank it out, and all the footage that she was seeing was actually shot when she was 18 years old. She was like 37 at this point, so she had like blacked it out. And when you find, and it's like you wait until the finale to reveal that, and then it's like, oh crap, this was a really cool twist. And then COVID happened, and
Yeah.
we couldn't film any of it.
Yeah, but that's a cool twist.
Yeah, and it was like I got the twist from Have you watched American Horror Story at all?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay, so there was a season where somebody was like a similar idea in a way where I'm not gonna spoil it because
Mhm.
you might watch the season, but there was a similar character, similar profession, similar idea, and I was like, I'm gonna manifest that twist a little bit better and not as gruesome,
Mhm.
because my that was my goal as well. Like, yeah, some of the clips are gonna be very like there's gonna be blood, and I'm like, but I'm gonna make sure it's not too much where people aren't gonna be like wanting to watch it. And I eventually
Mhm.
did go with the flat. When I did the found footage version, I said, "Well, everyone's filming from home now. Let me incorporate." But the way it turned out, I didn't like hardly any of it. So I did put it out
Mhm.
because there were people that really wanted it to come out. So I sent it to them, and then I eventually said, "I'm just gonna release it." But yeah, I took it down. I'm like, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Well, that's good
things.
that you. Mhm.
Yeah, unfortunately, even though I'm usually satisfied with what I created, what that is the only project that I think to this day
Um,
I did not like. So,
yeah, but
um,
that's good that you get to start it over
yeah,
and do it how you want to.
and do a whole new storyline where you got young adults instead of that are in like relationships that are trying to figure out
Mhm.
themselves and stuff, rather than it being a police detective and near like who's been a police detective for like 10 plus years and learning
Mhm.
about her. I mean, obviously the character was really cool to the right, but I didn't really like the way it was going. Like
Yeah.
I wrote, well, I think if COVID didn't or if I did it before COVID, I think everything would have been fine. But then again, there's
Mhm.
also that chance where I also didn't like the final product, no matter what. It's
Right.
it's one of them things where it's like it's good on paper, but not good at the not good finalized.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think um have you done any like now you mainly just do the acting, but have you ever done like writing or directing in any way?
Not yet. No, I would probably be interested in doing that eventually, but yeah, so far just acting.
Yeah, it's I remember I was when I tried acting once. I'm like I can act. No, I can't. I
Uh-huh.
tried. I tried. I can't do
Oh,
it. Nope. Not not I would
oh
if I had
no.
to. I would if I had to. So like I did have to for a project of mine, and oh my goodness, I did not like it.
Oh no.
And I only did it because
No.
nobody else I only did it because nobody else was involved. Like I couldn't get anybody else
Right.
involved.
Right.
I was like, well, I
Yeah.
guess I'll be this character that I wrote for somebody else, and I'll just be this
Mhm.
character.
Uh-huh.
But it was a
Mm.
lot of fun. I will say I did have fun making it, but it was not what I wanted to
Good.
do because I did not want to keep acting.
Yeah. That's good you got to try it though.
Yeah, yeah. I think my favorite part. I remember I was filming a horror film with some friends, and it was in high. I was in high school, and they're like, "Jeremy, we need somebody to be killed on camera. Do you mind doing that? You're not in the movie." I'm like, "Yeah." And I did this stupid scene where I had to make pretend that I was smoking a cigarette before the character, and I don't smoke, so like they had this like we had like a permanent. A good thing it was shot from a distance. You couldn't tell it was a highlighter. Because we were in obviously with high school, you have to if it was for a high school project, there's a good you don't want it to be like looking like you're smoking a cigarette.
Mhm.
So we shot this from a distance, and this guy came up behind our actor came up behind me. It was just so bad. We could not get the takedown, so we ended up cutting it right before you would see me get killed. And
Oh.
they added in this sound effect of someone's scream, which would definitely not sound like me, but they added it in there, and it was so stupid. I remember doing it, but that's only because it was like, oh, we had no choice. We only had me because I was the camera person, and eventually the editor on the project, and
Right.
oh my goodness, it was just one of the craziest things. And then there's a scene where we were supposed to have me get dragged away. Well, I wasn't getting on the muddy ground because it had just rained, and I'm like, I'm not doing
Mhm.
that. So
Yeah.
we were like, okay, we are not doing that, and it was just really really funny because I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But it's been really really fun. My other another favorite project I did with friends in high school. We did this uh, we actually did it was for they were we I didn't know the people that we were filming on the person's property, which,
Uh-huh.
which this is probably gonna be crazy, but this dude, this old, they told me he was an old guy that lived there, and he had this like creepy looking shed in the backyard,
Uh-huh.
and we snuck in and filmed in there.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, "Oh man, I hope we don't get caught." And we were one, and I was the only one worried about that. That when we were filming in there, and they're like, "We're not gonna get caught," and we actually didn't. We ran after we.
That's good.
And I was just like, "Man, we just." And I don't know if he probably would have gotten angry or whatever, but who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
I remember it was like just and a lot because I've never also done film permits, so like I hate filing for. When I was doing film class, we had to file a mock film permit and then having to deal with rejection. If it was a real thing, I probably would have
Um,
flipped out because
mhm.
I film permits are just scare. They scare me.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with
Yeah, I never
those.
had to personally. Yeah, but I bet it sounds like it would be stressful.
It would just depend on how people would how people would do it. Like I don't know if it's like like it's really crazy how that all works. Like it scares me.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
I don't
for
even
sure.
know um I don't know how it actually like I don't know if it was like I don't know I don't know like it's just one of those things that because again it's just like when you're filming a short film for YouTube. I mean, do you really need like one? And I'm thinking, well, it depends where
Right.
you're filming. Um, I worked on a 48-hour film
True.
festival last December. It was November, but it was a Christmas film. We had to get these forms signed by like we went into a dock restaurant. We had to get them to sign this release form saying it was okay. And again, 48-hour film festival would be great. That's an easy like yes or no right there. They signed the release right
Right.
there and then we filmed in a Cold Stone, which that was cool. I actually will not lie, that was actually kind of cool.
Uh, mhm.
I love filming in them like public location. Like if there's like obviously you had to wait till they actually we had to wait till they actually closed, and then the manager actually was mad
Oh,
that we were
okay.
taking because they were I guess the manager was led to believe that we would only be there for about 15 minutes after they closed. Well, we were in there for
Uh-huh.
almost an hour after they
Oh,
closed.
wow.
So it's just literally like, oh crap, are we gonna get in? Like, I always thought we were gonna get in trouble. No, we never. No, the manager was super cool about it, but it was just because they are a business where they do have to count the safe and stuff. So I imagine it was
Mhm.
that kind of situation. Ugh,
Right.
I never want to deal with that again. 48-hour film festivals are that concept is cool, but I
Yeah.
I after that I'm like I don't want to do this anymore. Like that was just difficult. And then spending the rest of because I had gone down to oh my goodness, it was about 2 hour drive from
Mhm.
where I live to go film this movie, and then we shot it at this dock restaurant, which was really cool, and then we shot in the ice cream store, and then after that we were shooting in a different location for the rest of the night. Got all the filming done. I went home
Mhm.
and began editing. I didn't sleep until it was done. Like I didn't go because I didn't get home till like 6 a.m. the next
Um,
day either. Everyone else took naps and I was just
wow.
editing it from home, and it turned out really really well. The editing I thought was pretty cool. Took me a little bit to do color correcting, and which I love that the more than anything. I could care less what
Uh-huh.
the movie like if the angles are bad. Oh, as long as it looks good, I don't care.
Right. Hmm.
Like, so I guess I want to ask you, what is your? Do you have a favorite movie?
I yeah, I would say the original Halloween
Yeah.
as well. It's so good. Um, and then The Strangers. And I really like X that came out a few years ago.
Yes,
It was so good.
I like that.
Mhm.
That's one of I actually really like that. I also liked I loved Maxine and Pearl as well. Have you watched those?
Uh-huh. I saw Pearl. I still have to see Maxine.
Maxine was really good. Pearl's great. I love
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
That one's like screaming away, which I like that one too.
that one was fun.
Yeah, Scream is really really cool. I like Scream and I like I'm trying to think what are the other ones? Uh crap, trying to think here. What are some other good horror films? There's a lot. There's a lot of good
Mhm.
horror movies out there. Some that I'm going to be blanking on. I guess the first Saw. I also
Mhm.
really loved I really loved crap. I just had it. Oh, It Follows.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I've wanted
that was
to
good.
I wanted to kind of do a movie like that where like a monster was
Uh-huh.
following people, but that concept is just also a little crazy too.
Mhm.
If you had to create a horror film, what would be the genre? Like what's this like what is your dream
Mhm.
horror film?
Yeah, probably some kind of slasher or something kind of like I don't really know how to describe it, but like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like Hills Have Eyes, that kind of horror. I would probably make something like that.
Okay, so something like a little bit more not super gory, but something more like cannibalistic, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun. I remember I watched a movie kind of like that earlier this year.
Uh-huh.
Now that's gonna leave me on that's blaming me blank. It's kind of like Hills Have Eyes in a way. I'm trying
Mhm.
to think. It was a low budget too film too. It was a hang on. Let me see if it's in my letterbox. Now if I don't find it, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. If you find it, let me know. Yeah, because I'd be interested in watching it.
Desert Fiends.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on. I thought it would be on Tubi. Now it's on Prime, and it's included in Prime, and it is on Tubi. So yeah, it is on Tubi.
Um,
It's called Desert Fiends. It was directed by Sean C. Phillips, who's as a YouTuber, I believe. Still, I don't know if he still does YouTube or not, but it had like
okay.
Lorelai Linklater in it, Scott Taylor Compton. It had some actors in it,
Mhm.
like had some really good actors in it, and then actually some people that like it had a actor Spencer Breslin who was in like the Santa Claus movies,
Oh, okay.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, he still acts. Like I was
Nice.
shocked because I'm like, you find these people who will just do anything. Like I'm just like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check that one out.
Yeah, I'm like anyone. I'll work like if I ever got the opportunity to work with like any actor, I'll take it. I don't care if it's just like
Mhm.
5 minutes on set. Like, hey, hey, you know what? Like, I don't know. Like
Sure. Yeah.
any actor, I would work with any. Well, I want to work with anybody. I'm not picky on who I work with because again, I'm just like, oh, I'll work with I want to, but I also want to get the note. Like, I've worked with people who have been like on like when I was in film school. There were people that were there were some people like who were like, "Oh, I won't. This is I, I'll work with you, but I don't want to know you either." I'm like, "What? How does that
Oh,
work? How does that
yeah.
work? Like, like you gotta know like." I mean, obviously, it's like I don't care if you want to be my friend, but we gotta kind of work together here.
Right.
Like, you don't even want to know. Like, no, I don't want
Yeah.
to talk to you. Well, okay, that's fair. I get it. But how are we gonna work together? I like to
Yeah.
talk. And then the director of the project was like, just go chill over there. we're gonna get this done, and then you can talk to everyone later. I'm like, they don't want to talk to me.
Oh no.
They just said they didn't want to talk to me. Like, well, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do that over dinner. I'm like, okay. And then dinner was awkward because nobody. They were like, still like, nah, like, because
Oh.
it was on a it was on an indie film shoot, and that was one of my final assignments. I had to spend like so many hours on like a film shoot, and
Uh-huh.
the only person there that was actually like decent was the writer. And I
Yeah.
actually put them in my blacklist. Those people, like
Hmm.
like there's two people on that film set that I did not like. I put them on my blacklist. One did hit me up, believe crazy enough,
Oh
and I
yeah.
remembered them, and I'm like, yeah, no, I ain't even gonna answer this person's like, no, I'm gonna leave them on.
No.
I left them on unread. I recognized the name, and it was a message request, so if I opened it, it wouldn't tell them that I read it unless I hit accept. And the second I saw who it was and I looked at their picture and I went into my book and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna be spiteful. Like I'm not. I don't know if it's really spiteful, but I'm just like, no, you didn't want to talk to me then. Why do you want to do this now?
Yeah, exactly. They're just trying to, yeah, get
Yeah, and I'm like,
more opportunities.
yeah. As much as I didn't want to be like that, but I'm like, I also don't want to work with people that don't want to work with me to begin with. Why, like,
Right.
because again, I was also like intern, like, and they didn't call it a production assistant because I didn't really do anything to help them. It was more like you're gonna watch this get made, and it wasn't even that like it wasn't even that good of a script. It was just something that I got attached to work with like a little bit on. And the day on my last day, they actually the director said, "Hey, thank you for coming by." I'm like, "Yeah, I was here for a week, and now I'm done. Now you want to talk to me?"
Yeah.
And
Uh,
unfortunately, that is how it goes. I know that, and yeah, I don't like. I like to work with people that are like. I get the whole, um, like I don't know if it's like they think they're like, oh, because I'm the main star of this movie, I'm gonna because I'm the main star of this act, like I'm gonna be that person. Yeah, no, it doesn't really work like that when you're still like working on like small level stuff. I mean, I guess it could if you depending
right.
on what you're doing. I don't know. I've never had. After that, I haven't had that experience anymore.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I try to just find people that wanna collaborate and try to like keep things cool. Like we're all like here making one thing. And so far, people have been. This project in particular, I think everybody has been pretty cool.
Mhm.
Everybody's been super nice. People, not really a lot of questions, which is good. I'm like, if you have questions, ask me questions. But no, everyone's been pretty cool about it. I'm like, cool, because like I also like to make sure everyone else is like really good with what I'm
Uh-huh.
like with everything. Like obviously, I will change things. I will work with you. I won't try to tell you, oh no, that's in the script.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. No, yeah, I appreciate that. I don't think I would ever like expect you to do that, but that's cool that you're open to that.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's just one of them things where I have to make sure. I want to make sure everyone's comfortable with everything because, I don't want because I did have one other problem. I started shooting something and I started shooting something and then they and then and then they were like, "Oh yeah, this is fine." They came to set. We were filming something, and then they oh crap, sorry, I'm reading a stupid email that just popped up. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
So anyways, got distracted. Oh, I hate that pop up. But anyways, so the proof that they didn't read the script. We got to I think it was a scene 4 or 5 or 6, something. It was like near the middle of the film. It wasn't a long movie, so like probably like 13 scenes or something like that. And they read it and like, oh no, they didn't read it until we were getting ready to film it, and they're like, oh no, I don't want to die on camera. I'm like, okay.
No.
I'm like, did you read the script? No. Well, why'd you tell me you did? It's like
Yeah.
what? But I'm like, maybe they were just like saying maybe they were saying, and then I started thinking, well, I did send a message before that. Maybe they were saying yeah to that question. and she goes, "Oh, I meant she's like, "Oh, I meant yeah, I read the script, but um
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, I couldn't imagine not reading the script before
yeah,
getting to
I'm just
set.
like, cuz she was reading it when we were filming for her lines, but I don't mind if you go through the script when you're when we're on shooting day. That way you can make sure
Mhm.
you're going to get the line right, or at least improv it to where it could be like, oh yeah, it's going to be improved a little bit where it sounds like or slightly um fixed, and
Mhm.
I'm like, cool. Nope. Ugh, stupid thing. Yeah, it's very very crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, it's yeah. So she ended up walking off set, which is fine, and
Oh.
we just were, and then like three of the lead actors looked at me, and I said, "What?" They're like, "You're just gonna let her leave?" I'm like, yeah, she doesn't want to be here. She even said like she's not doing the rest of the movie. She don't want to. They're like, you casted her? I'm like, yeah, I liked her audition. And they're like,
Yeah.
so you're just gonna, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm just gonna let her go. If she don't want to do it, I'm not gonna tell her she has to. And they're
Mhm.
like, you casted her after her audition. She lied to you about reading the script. You're not mad? No. Why? And I said, because I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not mad. It takes a lot to get me mad, and that's not one of the. And that just, I mean, I wasn't gonna sit there and say I wasn't frustrated, but I wasn't like
Right.
mad. But and they're like, yeah, I'm not working with you if you're gonna like just be okay with this. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Go tell her she has to finish the movie that she no longer wants to do?
Yeah. You can't force her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not. It's like it wasn't a paid project. I'm like, look, she's not making anything from this one, and it's like
Mhm.
she already knew that going in. She didn't want to be killed off camera. I was even gonna like say we could orchestrate, and she didn't want to do that. So I'm like, I don't know
Mhm.
who's gonna watch this. She might have family who might think, oh my god, this even the idea of it happening. Like I get it, and they're like, yeah, we
Mhm.
can't work with you if you're gonna be like this like I'm like, really? You're not gonna like? I mean, I get it. We can't
Oh.
film the rest of the movie anyway without her because she's in the rest of the film. But I'm like, and yeah, I think
Right.
they all decide to say no. We're not working with you if you're just gonna like let everything go. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not angry. I'm just not as angry as you all are. I think it's
Yeah,
because
that's odd. Mhm.
I think the one reason was the one actor came from like 3 hours away, and I'm like, well, that's
Um,
your fault.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I
like,
mean that would be frustrating, but yeah, they chose to do that.
yeah, I'm not gonna go say like, oh well, I mean, and again, I did. She did reach out to me later that night and apologized that she thought she was being unprofessional. Like, I said, look, it's okay. The people that got angry at me, they left because they thought I was being too nice and they didn't want to work with me because of that. And I'm like, in my eyes, I'm like, I think that's also unprofessional. They just walked off too. But
Mhm.
I'm like, at the same time, at that point, they can't do nothing about it.
Right.
But
Yeah, I mean, it's better that than to have, a director get really angry or something. I don't know.
yeah, it's crazy. One of the it was just one of those things like where I was like, well, that was fun for a minute.
Mhm.
I think that was the only time I've ever had like a legit like walk off, like very first time I ever had like a walk off like.
Mhm.
And originally I thought she was like she said I just gotta go like we're filming in the woods and she's like I just gotta go get some air. I'm like yeah go ahead wait we're outside. But then I'm like wait never mind she just means she might have to walk off and then she literally told me like hey I'm actually just gonna I'm not doing this. I was like, okay, that's cool. It's
Mhm.
like she came back and told me I'm not doing this. I said, that's fine. And the
Yeah.
actors just looked at me like I was like, they're like, how, like, why were you so cool about it? I'm like, well, why would I, like, like, I'm not gonna make you stay. It's just not
Right.
a fun, that would not be fun for anybody. And it wasn't even like a bad, like, script or anything. Like, it was a really cool movie, but I was like,
Mhm.
I'm probably not gonna do it either. It's just like, let me put this
Yeah.
one to bed too, just in case. But that's why this one I'm really happy about, though. This one I think is gonna be the. I don't know if it'll be my best work, but it'll probably be like one of my big. It's definitely the biggest one I'm doing, like the more collaborative one.
Nice.
Yeah. Any. What are you, so? I guess I. I'm gonna ask you anyway. What is what part like with Woods, like what really drew, like I want to ask you, like what drew you to that project, like what drew you to it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I was definitely, interested right away that it was kind of a horror project. And then, yeah, I remember you saying it was kind of similar to Are You Afraid of the Dark in a way, like telling the story. So I thought that aspect was really interesting. Um, and yeah, and then I also was interested in the relationship between the characters. I think my character is in a relationship with one of the other main characters. So I was interested in portraying that as well. There's a little bit of romance to it also.
Yeah, 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 that's gonna be, yeah. This is actually, like I said, this is actually my very first time writing like legit romance. I'm like, oh crap, this is not. And when people were
Mhm.
like, I was letting people read the script, they're like, this isn't like, you said there's romance. I'm like, well, there is. They're like, well, it's not romance film. I'm like, I didn't say it was a romantic film. I just said there's romance in it.
Right.
Like, there's two different things. Like, yeah, there's like, there's a little bit here and a little bit there, and there's like, it's definitely a little bit different. I think people are gonna be excited, I guess. I mean, it's a little crazy. I think what's really funny is when I told people it was like a PG-13 film, and they were like reading the
Uh-huh.
script, they're like, it is not. They're like, well, how is it PG-13? You got like two F bombs in here, and I'm like, you're allowed two in a PG-13 movie, and I'm like, and funny enough, that's the only time in the movie that it's written. So I'm like, part one is the only one that's gonna have that. Parts 2 through 6 won't have
Oh,
a lot of language. I mean,
interesting.
there will be language, but there won't be a lot of that. I'm trying to make this somewhat kind of family-ish and friendly-ish. Not really. I don't think
Uh-huh.
I would show people like a family film. I wouldn't show I mean, I wouldn't show like a normal family watch this. Like, yeah, no,
Right.
it's
Yep.
not gonna be like, it's not hocus pocus or anything. The Yeah, it's just one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna do this. One of the other reason I wanted to do this movie was I had written this because funny enough, Julie and Madeline, who are the main characters who are in a relationship, funny enough, those two characters are actually from a romance novel I was writing, and I saw nothing
Oh,
going
nice.
forward with this. So I said, I'm taking these two characters because that basically they're from that book, but they're not. But the book won't come out. So the only way you know that is if you listen to like a film commentary, you listen to this. Those characters I started writing for a book, and those are the two characters that we were going to follow. Like, half of the story was from Madeline's
Uh-huh.
point of view, and then the second half of the story was from Julie's point of view. And
Mhm.
then the third act of that was going to be where they came together. It's a little bit different this time. There's actually like, now there's a little bit more tension in this film because there's,
Mhm.
it's a horror ish kind of thing, not like a full blown romance. Because I would never want to. I can't say never because I would do like a drama romantic movie one day. But I
Uh-huh.
was writing this book and I'm like, I love these characters too much not to put them in something. So let me go back.
Oh.
So I went back to Woods and I'm like, they fit in what I'm trying to tell for this new version. I'm putting these characters in this.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I didn't know that, but that's
Yeah,
interesting
yeah. I didn't.
backstory.
Yeah, it's really funny because like when I do like like another video like later on down the line, like especially when we do the in person podcast with whoever can do that. I don't know who's gonna be able to do that yet, but that's also when I was gonna like talk about that a little bit too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I will say the re, I really like doing like these conversation calls, even though we haven't shot anything for the movie
Yeah.
yet. It just exists on script, and it's just an idea. But I've worked on projects where I've never talked to any of the people beforehand, other than a couple text messages. I'm like, okay, no, I want to
Uh-huh.
try and break the ice, get people to kind of like know people before we go right into this project.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's how most of also the films that I've worked on, I usually, just meet everyone when we get there. But yeah, it's good to get to know people ahead of time, and that will probably help with like, the on-screen connection and chemistry, I think.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to working with literally everybody
Mhm.
that has like auditioned. Um, there's also people that have auditioned that that weren't picked for any normal the main characters, but I am
Mhm.
gonna throw them in background.
Oh,
So
nice.
so there are some people that have been notified that hey, you weren't selected for this role, but there's a background character for this scene if you want to do it. And actually, two people have said that they would like to do it. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so I think that would be really cool. I don't know when they'll be appearing or if that watch it might not watch. They might actually say no after a while, but that's fine because
Mhm.
I've told everybody filming like March ish for part one,
Mhm.
and then hopefully we can get 2 or 6 done before it gets completely hot and humid. Because I don't like
Yeah.
a couple things about me. Hate filming in the cold. Hate filming in the heat. And
Yeah.
then the heat ends up getting bugs, and I don't want to deal with bugs either.
No, no.
Have, have you had to film in the like out and about where there was bugs? I hated that. I had to do it last year, and I hated it.
Yeah, yeah, I have, and yeah, I always try to remember to bring bug spray now because yeah, I just get
Yeah.
bit so much.
One of
Mhm.
one of my actors that's actually going to be in this Armani, she was in Killer Woods. Back in May we shot that, and the bugs were attacking her, like the mosquitoes were
Oh.
attacking her, and then one of my other cast members was being eaten up, and here I'm thinking like they don't want me. So it was really fun. That was a really fun movie to shoot too. That was a lot of fun. I love.
Nice.
Oh, and those that are listening, no, Killer Woods and Woods have no connection. It's just just the names and the titles. It's just Killer Woods is
Okay.
just a generic title that I thought of, like, because that movie. I'm gonna tell you this funny story. That movie had to be that it was gonna be something else originally. We had written a different script, but one of the actors could no longer make it for the original film idea the day
Mhm.
before she told me. So I had 15 hours to write something new that we could still shoot because everybody had already taken off of work for that shoot day. And I'm like, and it was just a massive day for everybody.
Uh-huh.
So I had to quickly write something, and within 15 hours, and my sister in law, who reads most of my scripts, she read the first script and then she read the new script, and she goes, "How is something that you wrote in 4 hours better than the thing that took you a couple days to write?" And I was like, "Well, that makes me feel." I'm like, "I guess because it was last minute and I had to think of something really fast."
Yeah, there's a lot of yeah working under pressure.
I was like, "Oh no, how am I gonna get this?" Because I was also in the middle of teaching, a course, and I'm like, "Crap, I'm still writing. Oh crap, I need to finish this, but I also need to." It was just like, all like, it was crazy.
Yeah, sounds
But
like it.
have you ever had to like drop everything and like quickly like change anything for films? That's crazy.
No, luckily I don't think that's happened yet, but yeah, I would imagine that happens quite a bit and would be pretty
Yeah,
intense. Yeah.
I I really like the idea. What I really like doing is I've actually eventually wanted to do comedy because I've been watching like a lot of comedy skits. Some of them are really funny,
Mhm.
and they're also not very not a lot of them are very long either. I think there's like a few that are like 3 to 4 minutes, and I'm like, oh, those are
Uh-huh.
really cool. And then it's like, oh, I don't really want to do that either because sometimes they could take a long, they could also take just as long.
Right.
Because
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know, it's just one of them things. But oh man, it's just crazy. What is cool? I guess. What is one horror film that you do not like? Like, is there like a part of the genre that you don't like?
Um, so I tend to like either, like I was saying, slashers, or like I'd like them to be somewhat realistic and have like the villains are people usually. I'm not as into supernatural or like zombies and stuff like that. There are some really good movies like that though, but yeah, I definitely prefer when it's something that could happen. I
Right.
don't know. I think that makes it scarier.
So no Conjuring.
Yeah, I mean, The Conjuring's a good movie. There are some exceptions, but yeah, for the most part, it's yeah, the supernatural ones aren't as much my thing.
Yeah. It's it is definitely one of those I think one of my favorite well, like I said, my favorite horror film is Halloween. I really love It Follows. Really love Trick or Treat.
Mhm.
Uh, I like the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I like the third one too.
Mhm.
Most of those I like. I don't really care for Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I mean they're fun, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm also a big fan of the Final Destinations. They're always fun.
Oh, I like those a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously obviously don't go anywhere, but before we wrap, because I want to make sure we got most of this. I want to make sure we got this recorded. But is there
Uh-huh.
anything that you want to add off before we wrap this up?
Um, Not that I can think of. I mean, I've just that my you can watch some of my films on YouTube. Roll for Terror, Twitchers, Video Hearts. They're all out on YouTube. So you can check those out if you're interested.
I'll put links to them in the description too, so that way people can find
Uh,
them.
that would be great. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, give me 1 second. I'll make sure we got this.